G'day folks, this is Corey. I hope you're really well. I get some funny questions in my marketing business, and this one counts as one of those, which is, Corey, I think Facebook hates me, or hates my business, I think was the implication. So I want to talk about that because it's a really good question. We've all seen that Facebook has changed a lot in how we use it and what happens with our business page and what results we get from it as a crux of our marketing for our business. So I want to talk about, whether Facebook is still useful and how you need to use it in a better way so that you still get love. Look over here, guys. So we've got, this is from our good mate Google, the top websites on planet Earth. So Google is number one, 92 billion visitors per month. YouTube is next, so that's also a Google property, so that's interesting. Facebook's right up there, and it's a huge drop off to number 4, which is Twitter. Okay, so that's a lot of people on Facebook a lot of the time. It is by far the most important and impactful big social platform. You could probably argue that YouTube is a social platform, but that's a big number. Okay, so I would say based on that figure alone, it's still relevant. It begs the question, does Facebook hate you? It probably doesn't. Now, when we first started, when Facebook first hit the business scene, a lot of people could see quick results from Facebook. They were probably used to old school marketing, maybe using other things that were getting a little bit of traction, but Facebook hit the market and really took off. People were getting followers and likes really quickly, and you'd post up pretty much anything, and everybody who followed your page would see that. Now, what a lot of people did at the start was talk about me, and look at me, and then buy my stuff. That was pretty much the strategy that lots of people used and unfortunately still use, but that was what people could do and it worked. So why wouldn't you keep doing that? And that's perfectly reasonable, but times have changed and they've changed a lot. Okay, so Facebook at the start was all about acquiring users, getting people onto the platform and getting you hooked on using Facebook for a mix of your personal and business lives. Okay, so that was what was going on back then. But we saw a few years ago that engagement and reach from business pages in particular plummeted through the floor. So all of a sudden, you might have had 1,000 people who liked your Facebook page, and that number of people who would see those posts went from 1,000 to, in some cases, 50 or 30 or less. So it was a massive change. And then pay to play came in, and the Facebook ad manager was invented. So things changed quite a lot. Okay, so it was no longer, hey, here's my stuff, buy my stuff. That stopped working. All right, now hopefully you're a bit more along the path of marketing than that. So this is a critical thing to remember at all times. Okay, so Facebook has one goal and one goal only. That's to keep you on Facebook as long as possible. So ALAP stands for as long as possible. That's all they want to do. Their one goal is to keep you there as long as possible. So you would have seen over the last few years that groups became a much bigger part of the Facebook game. So they took off because people with common interests were there and talking and doing stuff. And the groups really took off. Pages took a bit of a dip. People used Facebook differently. So as a business owner using Facebook for our business, we had to adjust and wiggle. Hopefully you've done that. Now just remember with Facebook that, and this is critical too, because people sometimes get upset about the changes and they actually forget that you don't own your Facebook page. It's owned by Facebook. Okay, when you sign up, you agree to that. You don't pay to use it. It's rented space. Okay, so the rules do change all the time, and you'll be aware of that. So just remember at all times that you don't own your page. Facebook owns your page. Okay, so a smart business will have a mix of incoming channels. They might have an email list. They might have, a blog that generates inbound traffic to their website, and they use SEO to get more people there. And they might have various social platforms, which are a great way to draw people into your business, but you usually rent that space. Okay, so we always talk about it as marketers, get people onto your email list, get people coming to your website. Okay, so just remember that, because sometimes people reach out to me and they're really upset about the changes and they kind of don't get it that, it's not actually yours. Okay, so let's just accept that and move on. Still a great place to be. We saw that traffic earlier on. So these are probably the 3 things that I see on Facebook at the moment in 2021 that you should not do. Okay, thing number 1 is external linking. So putting a link on your page or group to another property, so to YouTube or to another website or your own website, it just doesn't work. Okay? If you do that over and over again, Facebook really does not like it. So they keep it, the algorithm starts to say, oh, this page is not engaging. We don't like this page. They're trying to take traffic from Facebook to other places. Remember the goal of Facebook, to keep you on Facebook as long as possible, not pushing you to YouTube or some other blog or something. So don't do linking to other places. It just doesn't work anymore. Posts where you just straight up sell. Me, buy my stuff. No, doesn't work anymore. Facebook does not want to look like a notice board. Okay, they want to be an engaging place with discussions where people stay. They don't want people flicking through being bored. And also unshareable posts. Posts that have got no thought about, can this be shared with some friends? Okay, can this get a discussion going? Can this drive some comments? They're things that you don't want to do anymore. So this is a picture of a supermarket notice board. Facebook does not want to look like that. They don't want to look like a big newsletter type of thing that people just go past. They don't want to be that at all. That's not their goal. They want to be an engaging place. They want people to stay, not flick right past. So what should you do? This is really important. Okay, so the three main things you can do, and kind of set this up as a filter, almost like a thinking framework when you prep up a post. Will people share this post? Put that through your brain. Is this something people will share? Give that some thought. Will people comment? Are they going to comment on this post? Is that something that's going to happen? How can I get comments? And also, are people going to tag other people? So think of a holiday and you tag your friends. Think of an experience where you tag your friends. That's something you should think about and run that through. Is this post going to engage people in one of these three ways? Remember that with Facebook, it's not about look at me, it's more about look at them. So I'm going to try and endorse somebody else. Okay? Hey, use this business, use this person, look at this, look at that. That's what we want to drive, and that's what Facebook generally rewards because they like that tagging, sharing, commenting. So you might post how to change your oil in your car and you go, hey, John, you were just talking about that. You should look at this. And that's what Facebook likes. Okay, so post engaging stuff that people will share and comment on. Now that's the last post, the last slide in that show. Hopefully that gives you some tips about how to navigate Facebook now. Okay, it's changed a lot, but it's still a huge place to be. You just have to be strategic and think about how you're going to drive engagement, shares, comments, so that your brand pushes up the algorithm again, not down. Okay, if you need anything answered, just pop it in the comments below. Please do consider subscribing as well. Hopefully that's been helpful. All right, bye for now.